is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jake Williams Show with Tyler. I mean, off panel, off topic.
What the fuck?
It's like one of those radio shows.
What the fuck?
It's the dead leopard.
The dead leopard, Def Leopard?
Leopard.
Dan Leopard.
With Stu Gatz, but it was the Jake Williams Show with Tyler Allen. With T-Bird. God, I'm an idiot. It was right there.
It's off panel, off topic.
With Jake.
And Tyler.
I'm Jake.
Christ.
Jake Christ. What a title. Don't smite
That
me.
means king in Latin.
King of Kings. Anyway.
Christ of Christs.
Wow.
You know it's like three dudes and one dude, right? Okay. Trinity, man.
Three dudes and one dude. That sounds like a... I don't know where this is
Sounds like
going.
a Saturday night. I want to be a part.
Skoo! There's a lightning bolt for us being sacrilegious.
I got tired of you guys shitting on me.
A gay sex joke is one thing.
Go
But
to
when
hell.
you involve the Lord...
Go to hell. Seriously, literally, I just sent you to hell. I'm God.
You've been smited.
I smote your ass. Okay.
John
back to the show.
3:16 says...
Back to the show. We aren't normally this.
No!
Please. Come on.
No.
Okay. All right. What? Okay.
Because I said John 3:16.
Well, your fork is just all over it.
Go fork yourself.
What? Your fork covered in pumpkin bar. So, so it makes sense that your Bluetooth wouldn't work. So, I mean,
The pumpkin blocks it with the signal.
duh. I know how electronics work. Duh.
Hey,
So,
today's episode is brought to you by comic books.
comic books.
Yeah. So we don't have much. Yesterday. It feels like it. Last week was very news oriented. So I felt like this week is more about the books.
More about the books, literally. In my
Literally,
case.
yeah.
In my case.
We had to make some changes in the recording schedule. So, because last week we did the Daniel Warren Johnson Beta Ray Bill series.
Yes.
So I was like, Tyler gave me
Good
a trade
show. Good
of
series.
a classic Thor series,
Yep.
Thor versus Seth the Serpent God.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had a chance to read it, but I want to do something unique with that.
Okay.
I've been telling you about this. I've been playing Rivals again, so I've been playing as Thor again. So I want to read more Thor comics because guess what? Synergy works. And who would have thought spending time with these characters will make me want to read comic books about them?
Huh.
Crazy. So I haven't started yet, but I have Matt because I have Comixology Unlimited. I have the shameless plug, I guess, because they have the whole Thor series, his whole Thor series, and Matt Fraction. It's like 3 volumes. So I was gonna read that, and then you gave me this Seth the Serpent God book that I want to read, but I want to read it with my son because I think, we can kind of. When we've done retro reviews in the past, and we've kind of like had poked fun at it a little bit, being like, okay, it's very much of its time, and these books are, but I think the reason I want to read this with my son the most is because I think it'd be the easiest to read for a kid.
Yeah.
Because they were really strict with the Comics Code Authority at that time. So they didn't have. They're not. The books aren't nearly as gory and adult as they are now.
To be really brutally honest, like you should never listen to authority when determining what your kid should read or not read.
I am glad the Comics Code is gone.
You should read or consume the art yourself
Yes.
if you're concerned, and then make a decision based on your own viewing or consumption of the art.
I just know that
if you are somebody who listens to a critic, what?
No, yeah, go ahead.
Who listens to a critic or a talking head tell you that a particular piece of art is bad for your child without consuming it yourself, that's on you. And to be really honest, most of the time, that is the art that your kid needs to see. Honestly.
Yeah, because art is about
No, if there's a talking head on TV telling you your kid shouldn't watch it,
probably should.
chances are you
They're
probably
projecting.
should.
Because
Actually,
I got to be honest with
you
you.
probably should because it probably promotes free thought.
Yeah.
And not conformity and not being a bootlicking piece of shit. So.
Anyway,
let's consume that type of art.
Yeah, so I'm going to read it with my son just because he's starting to take interest in these characters.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be just fun. And I mean, I haven't read it yet, but just kind of skimming through it and kind of just looking at it. I mean, a 3-year-old, I don't think this would really scare them or anything like that. But, I'm just saying, like, I'm excited to read Thor and then read it. And what makes these characters great is the fact that they could be reiterated on so many times by different creators. So I love the idea that I'm getting this like Tom DeFalco story from back in the day. It's let's see, it's
DeFalco, Brett Breeding, Ron Friends.
Well, I was just gonna say it's the original Thor from 1966. So this is issue 395 through 400, versus a Matt Fraction book that came out in 2011. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's not 1966.
No, I know this story. No, I'm saying it's from that
like
original.
The 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, good. Okay.
No, I know DeFalco.
like-
I know DeFalco was doing stuff in the 90s with other stuff in Marvel too. So I know that.
I figured you did, but
even still, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I love that I can have this version of Thor
my thing is
in this time, and then also have another version by a different writer, but still stay true to that character. You know what I mean?
When did Thor come out? The movie
2011.
11.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I would have been 18.
18.
17 or 18. In that
Okay,
range.
so how much exposure to Thor comics did you have before then?
None.
Okay, so this is interesting, and this is why I love being able to give you all of the Thor comics that made me so excited to finally see the Thor movie.
Yeah.
When it finally
Which
came
is
out.
Fun. It is
you
interesting.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I like how there's a full circle kind of thing going on here.
And again, very similar to what I was just saying. I love that idea, and that's why.
Cool.
That's why even if it's shit, even if an adaptation is shit, it still will draw you to that source material, right? So. After that movie, I did read more Thor stuff, and I did so I'm saying exposure to these characters matters. So me, it was an entry point of that movie. I had no other Thor knowledge. I'm going in blank slate. I knew more about Captain America and Iron Man and stuff than I did know anything about Thor. Like the only time I had known about Thor was when he would show up in the cartoons,
Yeah.
So.
And he talked weird.
Yeah, and I knew that he was like, very, the legend.
Verily,
the Thor legend.
I am Thor. Wouldst thou care to partake of mead with me?
I was skimming through it, and there was one part where I'm like, this is so cheesy but awesome.
To thine own self be true.
When he breaks...
See, I could be Thor.
There's a part when he breaks into his chains, and he goes, nay, I say thee nay!
Yes, it's like a splash page. It's awesome. Yes. Yes.
I love it.
That's what I'm talking about, because they're trying to torture him, right?
Yeah.
And
he's
won't
mortal
give in.
or something.
No, he won't give in, right? No, all of his power is stripped, and he won't give in, right? He just won't. And the guy's like, oh, so you won't break, huh? Well, what do you think happens if I go against your friends? And he goes towards his friends, and he goes, oh, fuck that, dude. And, nay, verily thou wouldst, blah! Just, it's fucking great. I fucking love Thor, dude. Thor is the best.
And again, my exposure to him was the MCU movies, and then playing the game made me fall in love with the character in a totally different way. And again, that's what I love about these characters is you can have them in a movie or a video game or the comics.
I think the character would fall in love with you if it was real.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, you can hold it, but you can't pick it up. I just drop it. Boom. Damn it.
Was that your Hemsworth?
I don't know but this is my Thor voice. It's nobody in particular. It's just like if I were to do Thor, my version of Thor is like still not the Thor the piece of shit before he became like Thor. I'm still partying and shit. Like one time I did it as a joke. I had a Thor costume on, and I was like, one of the guys was sitting over in the corner. And I go, Heimdall. Give me my keys. I was just doing shit like that.
Nice.
I love the character.
Cool.
But tonight, it's about another guy. or guys, we got a bunch of books to talk about. We got
I see. What
and a
you're
woman,
trying.
a Superman, a Wonder Woman,
And a woman.
and a Batman.
And a Batman.
Yeah, we got 4 books to talk
and a
about.
woman.
But before we get into those books,
It's time.
It's a long box.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
you and I have talked about the Knives Out movies on this show. In the past, I love the first movie. I love.
If you spoil anything for me, I will.
No,
kick
I'm gonna
you.
just-
I will kick you
No, I'll be very vague.
under the table, right in the shins. Ouch!
It was the butler with the candlestick.
It was the butler in the with the candlestick in the library. The
Yeah.
library.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're from Brooklyn. We play fucking Clue all the
You
time.
guys play poker. We play Clue.
You know what? We play cocaine Clue. You ever played that?
You figure out who your friends really fucking are.
Lots of bumps. You know what? People getting bumped off. People doing bumps.
Take a bump.
It's a bumpy night.
Take a bump.
Eh? Eh?
Anyway, what the fuck are we even talking? Oh, so I really liked Glass Onion as well. So I had really, and I knew I think he said he signed like a 3-movie deal, so there's still another one coming, I believe. But I love Daniel Craig in this role, and I think even this one gives him more depth for the character. I think each movie progressively gives him more depth, and like the first movie, he's very much like a caricature, and then at second movie, we get more of his personal life a little bit, and then in this one, I think he does like his performance is great, and they're great in all of them. But I love this one because one of the main themes of this story is about grace and offering grace to another person that maybe you don't even like, and it's really a movie about showing humanity because you believe it's the right thing to do, and it deals a lot with religion. It deals a lot with It's funny because it's a movie that honestly I think is pro-faith and pro-religion because it's not saying one or the other is good or bad, because Benoit Blanc is not a religious person and he makes it clear. And there's even like when he first meets the main priest in this story that helps him with the mystery. When he first meets him, I was like, I wonder if that's a stylistic choice, and then it does get paid off later. But there's a moment where they're talking, and when the priest is talking about God and religion, it's like the sun is shining perfectly in. And then you see cloud coverage come in, and because then the father asks him about what is Benoit Blanc's belief. And he has a very negative interpretation on God and things, and you see it kind of stormy like that. And then later in the movie, he has a revelation, and then it's like the sun comes through the light, through the mirror, or through the windows, and I was like, oh, that's what he was going for. Like, he does so many like little stylistic choices where like he does these really cool, I don't know if they're one shot, but they look like they are, where he pulls it, he starts from a long distance and dialogue starts, and then he like slowly zooms in like and widens out the picture, and they're long establishing shots. There's stuff going on, that's why, if you pay attention. But what he does a really good job, by the way, it's Wake Up Dead Man. I don't know if I mentioned the name of the movie, but it's Wake Up Dead Man.
No, you fucking didn't.
Wake Up Dead Man. There, I said it like
Jesus
4 times.
H.
The cast is great, by the way. The ensemble's great, and the ensembles are usually really good in those movies too. But I think that what's really good about this movie, and I maybe I'd have to go back and watch the other ones, but he does a really good job of really showing everything to you, and does sleight of hand so well where he's showing you everything, but you're not paying attention to it because your focus is somewhere else in the scene. And then when it gets revealed, you're like, aha, okay, this makes a lot of sense. Because when you're paying attention to it, you're like, oh my God. And then the payoff starts to make a lot more sense. And it's even better because you get there before the characters, but when it happens, you're like, son of a bitch.
I find when I watched Knives Out finally, like 6 months ago, I finally watched it, and I found that I somehow was able to watch it and just go along for the ride,
Yeah.
without trying to figure it out, if that makes sense. And to be honest, it was a much more enjoyable.
No, yeah.
Than because usually I am that guy who's like, oh, I'll bet you I know what I'm.
Well, for me, it was like again nothing in this movie is a secret. All of these Knives Out movies, he puts everything in front of you. You just have to look for it. And like there's mentioning of certain things where I said, I bet that comes into play later. And sure enough, it's a big part of the movie. And I was like, I fucking knew it. But you know what? Like you said, I didn't let that impact my self-enjoy. Like, okay, I know that's going to come into play.
Yeah, you're not watching every scene going, okay, I'm going to study.
When are we going to get to
pause and study everything in the room so that?
Well, it's been 10 minutes since we've seen this character, so they're dead, or
yeah.
some shit like that. No, and there's just some things where you're like, you have to accept that you should know the answer already. But the fun of it, just like any story, it's the journey. You're like, how is he going to pull off this sleight of hand to make me be like, And a lot of the times in these movies, if you're paying attention, you figure this shit out long before the characters do. Because that's the story.
I think my favorite thing about Knives Out was that the twist had a twist.
Yeah, there's a really good... I love the twist in this one, too. Like, there's some cool stuff.
I mean, that's not why I watched it.
Josh Brolin is great. The dude who plays the main priest is great. I can't remember his name. Glenn Close is good. She's good. Thomas Hayden Church is in it, but I'll say this.
Did you know Glenn Close was raised in a cult?
I did not know that. I will say this time and time again. Every time I see that dude and stuff, I'm like, I want to see more of that guy and stuff. And I know he's in a lot of shit. But Thomas Hayden Church, I feel like anytime he's in something, he's not in it enough. Because he's great in this,
too. You know
too.
what you need to watch? You need to start watching Wings.
Oh, yeah. I used to... You know what's funny is I watched so many of those episodes tangentially as a kid.
Joel?
Because my dad used to watch reruns of Wings all the time.
Noel.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's probably where I first saw him, honestly.
That's where I first saw him.
But, dude, the fact that he's Sandman in Spider-Man 3 is amazing.
Here's the thing. Here's a interesting fact about Thomas Hayden Church. He's in Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the cowboys. Really, everything I've ever read from other actors, like he's a stud. Like he is an actor's actor. Like, but he just doesn't.
He's just
get
got
the
such
roles.
Amazing dry delivery, though, man.
He doesn't get. He just didn't. Yeah, hasn't gotten the roles or whatever. But like among other actors,
he's like Steve Buscemi, where they've just been really solid like character actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Buscemi got some play though. He's kind of turned his stuff into something.
But you know what I mean? They're like,
the
best way I could describe it.
Hayden Church was in more stuff.
The best way I could describe it is like pro wrestling. You got like your main eventers and you got your mid carders. I feel like those two, you know what I mean? Like he's always kind of just not quite the super. Like I know he's in Sideways with fucking Paul Giamatti. I've never seen it, but
I watched it.
I was in that movie with Thomas Hayden Church. I'm trying to work on a Giamatti.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I liked it.
Hey, I was in.
Well, you know.
He's in Star Trek now. Do you see that? And then he's in the new Star Trek show. I can't remember which one it's called. I think it's
Academy.
I think it's might be Academy, yeah, or might be Strange New Worlds. I'm not sure. But regardless, I'm like, I don't even know what the show is, but I want to watch it just for the Paul Giamatti shit, and then we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, Paul Giamatti. I thought you said Thomas Hayden Church.
Whoa! Star Trek. Get both of them in an episode. I'm sat, dog. I can speak like a Gen Zer.
Number one.
You're my number one guy.
Do a Giamatti doing some Star Trek. Come on, let's hear it. No, it's okay.
Captain's log.
Captain's log.
See, I gotta be careful.
Yo, motherfucker! Oh. Captain's log. God damn it! All right, Paul. Yeah. Oh, see, you gotta turn your phone.
Fuck you. You don't know me.
Yeah, no, you gotta turn your phone up. Turn your phone.
I turned it up.
All the way up.
No, it's going to be too loud.
No.
I'm glad we're doing
then
this.
Then play.
Here.
Shut the fuck
See how much nicer it sounds?
You know what, man?
Ew, fuck you. Let's hear the thing again. Oh, no, wait.
Do we need to hear it a fourth time?
I
No.
want to hear a nice thing, please. Can I hear something nice?
Whip, swing the web.
No, something nice.
What do you mean fucking nice?
Nice.
There you go. There. See? You even have a drop that says nice.
Am I funny to you? That's what I felt like. Funny how? Am I a clown?
I met an author on through Twitter, named Gabriella Noor, and she wrote a book called "A Guide for No Dummies in a World Built for Dummies," a survival manual for people who didn't ask for this world. Now, it must be said, I was raised before I get into the book, I was raised among people who did not have time for feelings or depression or anxiety, all that stuff. Like, we, as a generation, my generation developed it because we had more free time. I'm not saying either one is better or is true. I think a good balance of both is necessary, right? But so I've always kind of, even though I walk through this world saying to myself, I say to myself, like, this isn't the way things should be. I don't like how things are. The world isn't fair, and I've said this many times. I didn't ask to be born. Yeah, I know I'm 50, but I'm still kind of emotionally immature. The point is that there are times in my life when I think of those words like a manual for people who didn't ask for this world, and I understand why somebody might see that and go like, because an idiot who has been, brainwashed by TV and shit might see that and be like, well, trust me, this book is very necessary for our times. And basically what it is it's an instruction manual on how to survive. It is what it is. A guide for no dummies. If you're a no dummy, if you're smart and you're in this world built for dummies, and it really just clearly, lays everything out. And one of the things, even without a DOI peer-reviewed validation or any form of approved statistical investigation, I am reasonably confident that Plato was never obligated to endure discussions regarding why Kim Kardashian divorced Kanye West, nor expected to pretend that such information was essential for functional social integration. It is equally unlikely that his philosophical credibility depends on knowing how many romantic partners Taylor Swift has accumulated, or why this knowledge should be treated as a prerequisite for modern human interaction. Yes, humanity endured a dark period in its history, obscurantism, when knowledge was treated as a form of heresy. Yet even during that era, bright minds were generally permitted to conceal their intellectual capacities in peace, without being subjected against their will to a cultural reality in which 10 Homo sapiens from New Jersey become intoxicated and scream party as if volume itself were a substitute for meaning. Now, I do want to say, if you are still reading at this point, this is like the third page. If you're still reading at this point, it can be reasonably assumed that the excessive academic language has been successfully ignored, and that the satirical necessity of remaining alive has brought you here instead. In that case, welcome. And the entire book is written like that, as a survival manual, and it's not written as like a book of like a story. It is literally somebody saying, hey, this world doesn't make sense because it shouldn't. And this is how you can survive in such a world if you're like me. And she referred to herself as a dodo, and I really like that. And the way that she put it to me was, dodos were eaten into extinction by when man first came to where they were. They had never had a predator. And so it was assumed that dodos were stupid because they literally came up to the men who were building fires to cook them with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just didn't understand predation. And when she said that to me that way, it totally like opened my eyes and made me shift my thought process and the way I kind of view things. It just kind of opened another angle for me to see things that was always kind of there, but I just wasn't seeing it. And I just got to say, like, I'm blessed to know this person, and I haven't gotten too much into it. I got it because I got it right before I came over here in the mail, so I haven't had too much to read it. But it is pretty amazing stuff. If you get a chance, Gabriella Noor, it's N with an U, with like a Nordic O.
Yeah. Like a slash
with the line through it.
Yeah.
HR. But yeah, you can find it. I found it on Amazon. And yeah, she's just incredible. I think she's amazing. So, yeah, go check it out.
All right, I guess we'll talk about some comic books.
I guess so.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
What are we starting with?
Let's start with Battleworld.
Let's start with Battleworld.
So,
what are you gonna do with your life?
Here we are at the end of the story. This one. So this is a 5-issue miniseries. So this is the end, or so we know it. So this is the climactic fight between Korvac and the like patched together Avengers that are here. By the way, this is Battleworld number 5 by Christos, Gage, and Marcus 2. I like it because it's an interesting read on how I like how majority of this series it does go out of its way to shit on Hank, or not necessarily shit on Hank, but Hank is kind of the butt of the joke for some of this series, where Jane was like, I want a competent Hank. I don't want this shell of a man. I don't want whoever this fake version of him is, and all this stuff. And you're seeing a nice moment where so essentially what happens is Korvac is we're picking up from the last issue. Now they're trying to take the fight to Korvac with the star band that they got. And as Hank is about to, with Hank finding Korvac grabs him and says, "Do you even understand what I'm doing this for? Why I'm doing this?" Also, by the way, he does this after he just melts fucking Jane, and going back on his deal with her. That happens, and Scott shows up, to fight him, and then he grabs Scott and he says, or not Scott, excuse me, Hank. Hank Pym is the one who's doing this. He grabs him. And then he kind of shows him his life story.
Yeah, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, where he gets
my father
enslaved
died
by a race of people.
Yeah, well, these Baydun. Okay, so there's a timeline where, like, in the future, like in the year 3000, like this race known as the Badoon, and they're like these lizard people overlords, and they completely take over the entire solar system. In the future, that's where the original Guardians of the Galaxy come from. Actually, is that they're members of, and to be fair, the imagination used wasn't super great. Like the guy from Pluto is Martinex, and he's made of like crystal.
Yeah,
because it's so cold.
Yeah,
and the guy from Jupiter is like this massive, like massively dense dude.
Yeah,
because of the high.
Yeah, because he's a gas giant.
And the chick from Mercury has flame hair. You see where I'm going here?
Yeah.
See where I'm going?
I'm surprised they didn't put the woman from Venus.
You see where I'm going here? Okay. So yeah, I mean, but he tells them about his thing, and he's like, "Well, maybe Karina doubted you, because you're a coward," and that's when everybody goes, "Boom!"
Like, I'm not a coward.
I figured out the star brand, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because
so then Hank fights back, and then
justification of a spoiled child.
And then Hank pretty much says, like, you can call me a lot of things, but you can't call me a coward, because he tries to throw it back at him, and he's like, yeah, I overcame all of this. So all these things that you say about me, yeah, I own them. I fucked up. I made Ultron. I struck my wife when I shouldn't have in a bipolar
but I take
mania.
Responsibility.
But I own it. And that's what he's saying. Is like, what you're doing is you're taking your trauma and putting it on other people. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take that trauma, internalize it, and try and grow and be a better person from it. Is essentially what he's trying to tell him. And it's a whole thing where it's like, you think it's going to be that climactic battle, but it's actually a philosophical argument between Hank Pym and Korvac. And then Korvac kind of was like, yeah, all right, you got a point.
Here, check
Not
out-
really, though. And then he starts to go after him again, and then he goes, okay, hold on. Why don't you take a look at Carol's life?
Yeah.
Same thing. He says, oh, my God, how did you deal with it? She's like, I'm a Air Force. That's what we do. And that's, again, a great moment of, like, this is why they're heroes.
And that's why Janet pointed out you didn't bring anyone here who's always known for getting things right.
Right.
Rather, you chose those with a need for redemption of their own.
These
at
are
the
failed
times
versions,
when
yeah.
that need was greatest. To what end? To study us, man. To see how we go on. You all are simply stronger than I. It's basically... It's a 5-issue series to say, hey, we all make mistakes. Don't let them define you.
Yeah.
And if you...
Go on. Use your words.
If you make mistakes in your past, you can feel bad about them, and you can try and set them right.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not possible, and you have to live with that.
Yeah. It's about owning up to that and owning those moments and those mistakes, and like what Carol is trying to say, what Hank's trying to say is not letting those moments of weakness or those moments define you. You know, and that's what makes these characters. That's kind of the point of the story. Is like that's what makes them heroes. Is despite everything, they keep going and they keep trying to make the world better, even at cost to their own life.
I might ask you to help. Will you help me? And finally, Korvac asks, and everybody gets.
It's like the ending
away.
of Thunderbolts. It's about mental health.
Yeah.
And then
we
get to the
show
end.
him and Earth 811, a day of future past.
What?
What?
What's going on?
Your suspicions were correct, Storm. It was a trap. The Sentinel would have killed you all. So what is going on here? Earth 813, it changes into Earth 813 from Earth 811 because he's created a new timeline.
Yeah. And now he's messing with
end?
the days of future past?
Do you think maybe, don't quote me on this, but do you think maybe, possibly, it might have something to do with this?
Armageddon?
You think
Coming in June?
Do you think maybe it could have something to do with that? Also, there was an ad for Captain America where S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back. That looked pretty cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing. What does it stand for?
Oh, yeah, the shield as the shield logo. It's like the Taskmaster shield.
So, is there a new Venom, or is there a new Spider-Man Venom called Death Spiral? Because that looks cool.
I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, well, you should read the comics that I give you.
All right, the next one.
You should
right.
read the comics.
What's your grade on that one, Tyler?
I give it a.
Overall, I think we probably.
I think I give the overall series a B+.
I'd say it's a B. It's entertaining. I think it did. I applaud it for doing something differently with its last issue than just being another big fight and more of a philosophical battle. So props for that.
To be fair, there was still a fight.
There was a lot of fights in before that, but you know. All right.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
Oh yeah, Skeletor.
Oh yeah, Skeletor will suck it.
Yeah.
All right.
I have no
next up,
lips.
Absolute Superman.
Is that what he would say?
What?
I have no lips.
True.
He doesn't.
Pucker up. He can't. It's Absolute Superman number 15 by Jason Aaron and Julius.
Ferrara.
What?
Ferrara.
You sure about
Where's
that?
the title page?
You sure about that, Chief?
Where's the fucking title page? Where is the goddamn title page?
Is it the back?
Is it the back? Is it one of those where we're like, oh, we're gonna put everybody at the back? I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. Juan Ferrara.
What? That has a different guy.
Artist in colors, which I think I love it, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, we're picking up.
There's times when I don't really dig the art in this book, but not often. It's just when I don't, it's like, like
What?
this just looks funky.
The
This looks
font?
weird. The picture. It looks weird.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so this picks up after.
So
I
frustrating.
really don't know what you're talking about. After the fight between him and Roz
Raj Al Ghul.
for Smallville, so now he's finally going back to regular life on the family farm, trying to rebuild Smallville and everything like that. But we're seeing him be like the traditional Superman, where he's just hearing scream. He keeps saying, "I hear screaming all the time," and he's just trying to help as many people as possible.
They show him like running past like the diner, and Lana's like, "Hey, be careful out there." And they show him taking care of a dam, and then Mr. Shot, sir, I'm afraid another fire has broken out at one of the factories. Shall I send the usual thoughts and prayers, Mr. Shot? And they show that Superman has gone to Mr. Shot's giant building, and melted a hole in the wall. None of you are untouchable, not to me. Change your way of life, Winslow Shot. I'll be watching. And meanwhile, he's also searching for Brainiac.
Yeah, and you keep hearing about just how like the aftermath of everything and like how bad things are, and he kind of just says change your ways.
Ra's al Ghul no longer has power.
So this is probably the most interesting dynamic of the issue.
Yeah.
So we cut to him going to the prison where Ra's al Ghul is being held by his own company.
Yep.
They want nothing to do with him after everything that happened with Smallville, but throughout the issue, because he's upset because he's like, well, I'm gonna die here because I can't get to the Lazarus pit, and I'm just gonna grow old and die. And in that time, Superman comes back with different cards that are prayers for
prayers, mantras, poems written by children from the slums outside this jail, written for you after their parents died in your copper mines or were beaten to death by your peacemakers. You seek to rehabilitate Ra's al Ghul with the musings of orphans? Ha, you are too pathetic for words, boy. And he is like, let me use it as toilet tissue. He's like, nope. So he's going to sit there. This is my favorite. They say it's stretched for the fire in the Amazon. Was that you? They say it stretched for 20 miles and then somehow just suddenly disappeared. How did you do that?
So
you swallowed a wildfire?
Puked it up in Smallville.
Yeah.
It's like it needed a control burn.
You ate 12,000 acres of tropical wildfire and puked it onto Kansas. Is that what you're telling me? I suppose you could say that.
But I want to get back because they touch on it more in the issue, and each time he keeps coming back, you see Ra's get older
because he doesn't have the Lazarus treatment.
Yeah, so he's slowly dying, and each time you see that, and then the taunts stop, and he starts doing the prayer with him. Like at one point, he says the prayer back to him. And I know that before that he has a conversation with Lois about he's like, I wasn't ready to be a celebrity. That's not really what's going on. What I want to do, whatever, but. He's just trying to navigate that, and then we start to see the budding romance between them, or start to build, and then we also see that with Lana, the traditional love triangle between the three of them. But yeah, to me, the thing that stuck out to me the most was him talking to Ra's and just keep coming back constantly, and the fact that Ra's at some point says the prayer back to him.
Yep,
and because. It is such an look. I get it. Like some people don't like that Superman's like this. Some people don't like Superman being a Boy Scout. This Superman has a little bit more edge to him. Like, he just burned a hole into a building and everything.
This is the reports of a hurricane off the coast of Portugal. I tell myself I have enough time for a few more rows. I know I can't be everywhere, but I try. Miles away, and he's got a ship that he's saving from a tidal wave. Miles away, a car goes off an embankment. Passengers have only a second to react. Feels obscene to listen. Feels more obscene not to. There's a child in Thailand, body riddled with cancer, no family. She doesn't want to die alone staring at the ceiling. I make sure she doesn't.
That part fucking broke me. Broke me. So good.
After the child dies in my arms, I spend the next hour alone in the stratosphere screaming so loud it knocks satellites from orbit.
Yeah, and I think this was such a great way of showing to someone that's like people like us that have been on this ride for 14 issues to actually see Jason Aaron be like, okay, this is how I'm going to do Superman and stay true to that character, just like the Wonder Woman books and the Batman books. But those first 14 issues, I think, were him really setting us up to be like, now we're in the prime that we're used to seeing of Superman. Like, he's still learning things, but, like, boom, he is big blue when you see him. Like, he soars on that first double splash. But, man, moments like that, you're like, fuck me. And then again, despite everything that Ra's al Ghul did to him and other people, he still tried to say, I'm going to let you not spend the rest of your life alone.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of man he is.
Yep.
And you should all fucking be more like this alien from another planet. He was more human than a lot of people on this planet. Real or fictional.
And they show him finally at the end, and again, Ra's is just death. You know, he's near death.
Yeah.
And he's screaming in the clouds, and he's saying to himself, you know, he's saying this prayer, it's a silence we should fear. Or survival is never silent. The cacophony means we're alive. It means we have hope. It's a silence we should fear. Hey! And the people who will fight to keep us quiet. And who the fuck is that?
Hawkman.
Hawkman! Hawkman!
What are these dang Thanagorians doing in my Smallville?
He looks, he's got a very Black Hawk inspired outfit. No.
I know, but that was a very unfortunate pause. Anyway, I know what you're talking about. Black Hawk. It's hard. Don't blame me. Blame language. I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying it's hard to say.
The next page, we can't forget about the next page. Because,
we find out where Brainiac is.
Yeah.
He's in Missouri. And he's going to a house, and there's a mailbox. And what does that mailbox say?
Luthor!
We're going to see Lex Luthor.
We're going to see Lex Luthor! Bah! The never ending begins. Part 1. In blue.
Also, I love that Lana said, yeah, you look better in blue. And she says it even as he's flying away. I wanted to mention that. Does a really good job of showcasing his hearing in a fun way, because she continues the conversation after he flies off.
Yeah.
And it's still, the bubbles are still there. They're in a special effect on him, so the bubbles are the same as if he would hear it if she was still in the room. And I love that little detail. It's when he flies off and she goes, okay, maybe next time. And she says, you look good in blue. What?
I love you, man.
I love comics. Is that a crime?
No, comics are awesome.
A+ for that
Comics.
issue. A+.
Yeah.
Fucking loved it.
Well, as the cancer child that really.
Yeah, man, that's good shit. That's good shit.
Break time.
Break time? There's no break times. There's no breaks in baseball. Is that a movie?
I could write a book about what you don't know.
All right, next up, we got the first crossover.
The first.
I want to be clear. We have held off on this issue because
We've been waiting for Batman number 50, but I don't know if I missed it. It's on my pull list, so there's no way I should miss it.
Well, yeah. So this and Batman, Absolute Batman number 16 is the continue. It's like a 3. I think it's like a 3-issue thing.
I thought it was just 2.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, it might be. I have to look at the end because the way it was worded, it made it seem like they're going to cross over again.
So really quick,
because let me see it. Oh, yeah, I could go ahead. I'm just going to pull up that page real quick.
Really quick. I did get the last time I got an Absolute Batman book. It was called Arc M number 1.
Yeah, you're right. It's only 2 issues. It's this and Batman issue. You're right. I was just double checking.
No, that's correct.
Because Zatanna is next.
Zatanna. I don't know if
it's Zatanna.
I don't know if 16 was delayed.
So yeah, we were holding off for Absolute Batman number 16 because we want to review them back to back, and that'd be a fun thing to do. So we've had this for like a couple weeks now, and we just haven't reviewed it, waiting for that Batman issue, and then we got Arc M number 1, like you were saying. So we're just gonna review it now. And I remember when you brought it over, you're like, I really like this because it avoids.
Is it Hecate?
It avoids a lot of the bullshit. It's Hayden Sherman is the artist, right? Kelly Thompson's the writer on this. And it kind of just gets to what the story needs to be. So the last issue of Absolute Wonder Woman, she got news of the the logo of Hecate was all over, killing all these people in Gotham. So that was the setup for, okay, now she's got to go to Gotham, and this is the first time we're going to see her interact with Absolute Batman. And I love how this all happened. So, and again, you're right. It avoids what traditionally you would do in a book like this, where it's like, well, they're not used to each other. They haven't met each other before. They have to fight. They fight each other, but then they realize the real enemy isn't the hero they're fighting. It's this other thing. This issue doesn't do that. It's honestly kind of hilarious because she shows up in Gotham and she creates her own bat signal out of it's a green glowing magic bat signal.
Shield. Or it's the axe.
Yeah, it's the logo. But the Absolute Batman logo, and it's just awesome because he literally goes, "What the fuck?"
He goes, and she's like, "I heard you were quiet, but they may need to invent a new word for what you are. It's especially impressive considering your size. Friendly."
Yeah, and he doesn't talk with her much at first, and he's very classically stoic. But again, this is great because it does something that other team-ups avoids. Where it just gets to the brass tacks, but it does it in a smart way where she just says, like, okay, I got your attention. I wanted to get your attention so you don't come trying to fight me when I'm here anyway. So why don't we work together because you know this city better than I do, and I don't have any detective skills. I don't even really know Earth that well. Yeah. So can you help me? And then Batman just goes, okay. Because he's like, well, you're not trying to kill me. You seem like a good you don't seem like a criminal, so I'll fucking go with you, whatever. And I love that they just avoid that because they do what logically should happen in these books where a conversation goes, hey, you're wearing weird clothes and tights too. Yeah. Why are you here? Oh, that's funny you ask. You know, instead of just them bashing each other's skulls.
You should know I am no god. Are you a god? Of course not. Excellent. Oh, yeah. What? My mother was sure you were a bat god when she saw you in her scrying pool. We made a bet about it, although I will need some proof.
And I got to say, I made jokes about them crossing over, not wanting to cross over, but I think this issue is really what kind of won me over. And I'm glad real quick, and then we'll get to your point. And I'm glad that they did it this way, where it's a bottle issue, where it's just this one thing, and then we're going to go to another. But just to have these characters interact, and then it's a test to be like, if you're interested in this, do you want to see an Absolute Justice League? Because that's clearly what they're trying to go to, and I'm interested in that. But anyway, yeah, what you're saying?
Well, she gives him an amulet, an enchanted talisman of Hecate. Yes. It's my own twist. If you touch this bear skin and demand an audience with Diana of the Wild, if I am on this plane of existence, I will come to your aid. Seriously? It's powerful magic. Mine, my mother's, and that of Hecate herself. Thank you.
And then, so they go into these layer. They go into the layer to investigate the murder, and she mentions, because throughout this book, we're 15 issues in, it is mentioned. She says that magic has a price, but we had just, that's just something you accept in fiction, right? But this actually goes through the lengths to say it's blood. Blood is a crucial part of magic. And then she even says to him and us, the reader, being like, and before you ask, yes, I used my own blood to create my magic.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes. Oh, that's so cool. That's so interesting that, like, okay, so we're establishing that there is the price is actually blood in your blood in your soul, pretty much. Because she says gods love blood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really thought that was love that.
So they go and
it's such a good book, man.
It's just, they just work well together, and they go and find this church where they're trying to make an anthroparion, which is like a homunculus or a golem.
A golem, yeah. To get who they think to get Hecate and bring them to our world, into our plane of existence. But we also find out, so they're like, then I like how she's trying to investigate, but then you see him take over the whole thing where he goes, why don't we be proactive and go to this location where they think this is going to happen, so they can kind of stop it before someone gets sacrificed. So they go to this next crime scene, or this next scene where all of these people are doing this seance with this body, and they're in the trance state, like they're trying to like wave at them and get their attention. They're just
we're
heads
in it
down.
now. The circle's broken.
Oh, I want to talk about this. I again, before even that, why I'm excited to the idea of, okay, we're going to do an Absolute Justice League. This is where we're going. All right. This book did win me over because of moments like this, because you don't see this a lot in comics, and I love this. I mean, I just love this. Do you mind being carried briefly? We could just cut to the end of the line violently. Well, I like the violent part. I just like the fact she's like, look, I like your enthusiasm here, but let me just lift you up and drop you in this motherfucker. Let's just do that. And then next page immediately, crash. And then, that's when we find out they didn't react to anything he did. They were in a trance. And then that's when we find out, because this whole time, this was being orchestrated by Veronica Cale, who had the maze, who had the Dr.
Poison.
Dr. Poison.
Yeah.
She's been she set up Batman and Wonder Woman for this, and she's just like, so now we have a Golem. Mm-hmm. And then she
but it's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is the one that she's activating the Golem on, and so she's like, they're trying to control one, and she's like, Batman, run, and her eyes are black and shit.
Yeah, but she says deleting my magic arm is the best thing I can do for him, which comes back later on.
Yeah, so she's like telling him to run and get away from him as she's being controlled by Veronica Cale. Then there's a moment where Batman has an idea. He's like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this symbol that she gave me to call her. And it's just, this whole sequence is great because he's falling down. She's got her foot on his chest, and he's literally got his teeth on his glove, like pulling the glove off so he can touch his flesh to this fucking thing to get her to stop.
Yeah.
And eventually he's like, I demand an audience with Diana of the Wild Isle. And then that she's eventually snapped out of it.
Yeah.
Which is like, I love that thing because, again, it's these characters being smart. Yeah. And her having just Diana's nature of the in the series, and what I love about how she's written here, where she's like, I can trust him. He's not doing this because it's fun. He's clearly, he has a calling to do this like I do. So I'm going to trust him with this thing as anything goes bad. Because I know magic, I know gods and shit. I know what could happen here. Yeah. And then him being smart to be like, I know what I'm going to do. We get out of this situation. I'm going to touch this. It's going to snap her out of it. Because she said, as long as I'm on this plane of existence, I will answer. So it's like, just, I love that. And again, this is how you fucking do crossovers, man. This is how you do, because I'm sure it'll have a bigger play on the narrative and build to a Justice League, but like it's really a bottle issue. And so they get saved and they leave and they're like, well, they try and investigate, but as they do that, they notice a bomb is there, so a bomb explodes the place that they're in, and there's a nice moment where they jump out together. And then Veronica Cale's like, we'll get him, essentially. So wait, are you a golem? No, but the magic and unconventional nature of my birth seems to have left me open to some attacks I haven't considered. I'll have to watch out for in the future. It's just, she's not really a golem. It's just, she's magical,
Magical lady.
Oh, and again, I say this every damn time, but the paneling is fantastic in this book. But I love how intentional the paneling is when Batman shows up. So, like, when you first see him, the first time he's on the panel with her, the panels are the bat ears. And then, on the last page of this issue, we set some other things up. Because she says, also, this is a great part. He goes, she sees snow for the first time. She goes, oh, what's this? And he's like, it's not magic, it's science. It's like, it's just snow. It's like, she's like, well, they're not. She says what Thor says in Marvel books, where it's like, well, they're not that far off, magic and science, and blah, 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 blah. And then she says, Bruce, don't you think we should make friends with the Superman too? Yeah. Because he goes, you know my name, just say it. So she says, Bruce, I think we're going to need lots of friends if we're going to save this world. May Hakat, or Heket, however you say it. Heket. Bless and protect you, Bruce, and those you love. And he says, happy holidays, Diana. But when she says make friends with the Superman, the panel is the fucking symbol of Superman, the shaping of it. And I'm just like, yes, queen. Although it was I think it was a dude who drew it. So yes, King. But yes, Queen Diana. You asked me because this book is, man, 15. We've been reading this book for 15 months, and it is not dipped in quality at all, man. Solid B. Love this issue. Good stuff.
Oh, a B, huh?
No, I'm just kidding. Give that baby an A. You're right. What about you, Tyler?
Poop. You poopy head.
What?
Poopy head.
How dare you?
I know.
Anyway.
Give it an A.
Of course you do. It's copying me. Whatever, man. All right, and we're going to wrap up this episode with a special issue, okay?
Special is...
I could write a book about what you don't know.
It is Avengers number
800 by Jed MacKay, and the artist is Farid Karami.
Cool wraparound cover. And
I did like that.
This was already like that.
I was going to say, I don't know what happened to the pages.
It's...
Some of the pages got...
It's happened in a lot of books lately, Marvel.
The binding is not great. The staples are coming out.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck.
So, I will say this.
So, before we get into the whole...
Can I...
Yeah.
I think I know where you're going to go with this. So, maybe we can sync our friendship.
I was going to say, I don't really need to go, like... I have not been following the Avengers.
Me neither.
I have no idea if this is the end of a particular storyline or what. There's a backup story.
Yep.
By Brian Michael Bendis and Mark
This
Bagley.
is their thing, like, hey, this is BMS coming back. BMB, right? Brian Michael Bendis. It was BMB. Brian Michael Bendis coming back to Marvel. That was the big thing about it. Was like, hey, he's the guy who has written the most for the Avengers is coming back to Marvel with this backup story. He's over at the fuck sticks over at DC. That's where he was.
So I like that it's a story about them beating Kang, basically.
This is the thing, though.
But they don't. And which one of you will you pick to survive the death of this universe? Because there can be only one. And it's like, I'm not going to read the next issue.
Yeah, I'm
not going to follow this.
So this is Jed MacKay. So it's like it's actually number 34 of his run.
Yeah. Well, it's of this current run of the
Avengers, right? But its legacy numbered as 800. So I honestly thought going in it was going to be a commemorative kind of a celebratory issue,
self-contained issue,
a bottle issue, as these milestone issues usually are.
And for most of the story. It
kind
felt like it.
Because it's just them giving back.
Until like the last page.
Dude, the story is literally Jed MacKay being like, look at all the stuff I did with the Avengers. Yeah. Remember all the things that I did with the Avengers?
Yeah.
And maybe that was the mandate. I guarantee you the mandate from Marvel was this is going to be a commemorative issue. It's going to be number 800, so a lot of people are going to pick it up that maybe haven't read the book currently. Yeah. So you're going to have to kind of deliver every sort of backstory you could of what you did with the series. Yep. And yeah. And that's clearly what it seems like they were doing here, which is fine. I don't want to make this seem as me taking shots at Jed MacKay and the team working on this. I'm not. But I will tell you this much. This is a book, so much of it, where I'm reading all of this of like, oh, this is, remember when we did this, and we did this, and we did this? And I'm just like, man, I'm glad I didn't read that series because none of this seems interesting to me.
It felt so much like back in the day, a really cheap thing to do for sitcoms when they didn't have like a script.
A clip show. Yeah.
Up until literally the last 2 pages of the story. The last 2. Up until the last... This is where it goes over, But it's a clip show. It's a fucking clip show of an issue.
Okay.
Am I sad about it?
But
no.
But the justification... So the whole thing is they're fighting Kang, and then they say, we know how to... We're going to tell you... We're not going to fight you with our fists. We're going to negotiate. He's like, what are you talking about? And then they proceed to each of them say, each Avenger pretty much is talking about how they...
Remember when we took down the Remember when we took down the amusement park?
It was,
and the owner turned out to be, and the ghost turned out to be the owner of the amusement park. It's like a Scooby-Doo, okay? It is. Over and over again. Remember when we did this?
Sorry, I was looking at I thought my computer was going on.
Remember when we did this? Remember when we did
but
this?
Yeah,
That's
it
all
does. It does.
That's all it is.
And I'm not even blaming again. I'm not even blaming the creative team. It definitely feels like a mandate from Marvel. Like, look, man, you got to have to work in a storyline because you're going to hit 800. And that storyline has to find a way to bring in casual readers that aren't usually reading this book and get them into this somehow. Yeah. But the problem is the story. So the story justification is they're not negotiating with Kang. They're negotiating with a Grail. And this holy grail of some sorts was created by Reed Richards, and it's going under apparently, Reed Richards can make devices that are enchanted with the same kind of magic that Odin has from Mjolnir, because it's hey, only good people can control the grail.
Sure.
And so she was like, we weren't negotiating with you, we were negotiating with the Grail, and then she catches it, and then it doesn't even matter, because then Kang goes, well, it's already been in motion, and you can't stop what's in motion, it's a cosmic booba-dibba-doo.
And it's just like, I'm not.
And it was just like, okay, well, what was the point of that?
Yeah, the purpose of all the clips, if you will,
it was a clip
was
show.
To show that the
people.
Grail, that they're the worthy ones, blah, blah, blah. Now, the backup story is interesting.
I really didn't read it.
It's just
they're doing a party, aren't they?
No, it's just Captain America is watching Madam Hydra, and here comes Iron Man. And like, oh hey, by the way, it's our anniversary. And like, oh hey, here comes Thor. And like, and then here comes Hulk. And then here comes, and by the end of the issue, like they're all there.
Wow, what a.
Because the Avengers signal went off.
Yeah.
Because
they had a special signal.
Crime's worst nightmare returns in a new ongoing series. No, we didn't.
How many fucking
I didn't
Punisher
demand
series
this.
are there?
I didn't fucking exactly right.
How many Punisher books are there?
I do like this cover because none of these
number
characters
35.
are featured on this cover. None of these characters are featured on this cover.
Yeah.
But not enough to care enough to buy the next issue.
I see.
Fun fact about Mark Bagley, who there used to be a thing called the Marvel Tryout Book.
Let's see for your angle.
Yeah. There used to be a thing called the Marvel Tryout Book. And what it was there were writing, penciling, inking, lettering, editing, coloring, and whatever. And there were different sections of the book, and you could buy it. It was like $50, which again for that time was really expensive. But you'd buy it, and you would try. It would show you the Marvel way.
Yeah,
the Marvel method, if you will.
I think is what they called it.
Mark Bagley, sent in his tryout. And there was a contest once, like the best one will be picked for an actual issue of Spider-Man. And Mark Bagley, the guy who drew the backup story, he won. And he came to fame by being the penciler on the New Warriors, which was one of those summer series that I told you about that from 1989 to 1993, every summer they came out with 6 new books. And one of them one year was a RoboCop one. Remember? I told you about that?
Oh, yeah.
But New Warriors was one of those. Darkhawk, Ghost Rider, the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, Guardians of the Galaxy was another one. Namor with John Burns. Namor was another one. There were some solid books. It's just by the 4th year, it was I don't care anymore. There's too many new books, right? But New Warriors was how Mark Bagley got his fame. That's how he rose to prominence, and then he became the artist on Spider-Man, and he was the artist throughout one of the worst periods of Spider-Man's history.
Yeah.
The Clone Saga.
Oof.
He also was instrumental in drawing almost every ridiculously stupid gadget cover that they made during the 90s. He is
like
used
those like 3D.
3D ones, the hologram ones.
Yeah.
There was one month that all 4 Spider-Man books had hologram covers, and he drew all of them.
Why?
I know, right?
Man, I love it when a gimmick comes into the zeitgeist and we just fucking
But
run it into the ground.
I do not blame Mark Bagley for the Clone Saga. I really don't. As far as I know, he had nothing to do with it. He was just drawing, and he was like, "I'm living my dream. This is awesome." More power to him, and I love to see that he's become like a legendary. Hang on.
Legendary.
It says on the cover. Plus a new anniversary story by Marvel Legends. Brian Michael Bendis.
And
Mark Bag. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those stories, like, I'm never going to get behind Fernando Mendoza because anybody who just blindly, like, first I got to give my glory to God. Like, go fuck yourself, all right, man? I'm serious. Go fuck yourself, all right? Just go fuck yourself, okay? But it's a cool story, right? It's a cool story. A super, super rich kid who lives right down the street from Miami couldn't get an offer from Miami. So he goes to a bunch of schools and makes more money than his parents have somehow in NIL deals, and then somehow makes it to Indiana. Wow. Thank God. I don't think God is who you should be thanking there, Fernando. I think it is the capitalist system that allowed your family to live that close to Miami.
We were doing
and to
so
send
well.
you to so many different fucking colleges where you were basically being hired as a mercenary. So congratulations on your fucking bought fucking national championship, Indiana fucking University. Eat shit, Hoosiers.
Fuck you, asshole.